Madonna fans and friends, and welcome to another tribute episode of our channel. And I'm so happy to have you here. Um, it's been kind of a sad day for me personally, and I'll tell you why later. But first, we're going to get started with the recent news of the passing of Chris Ciccone, Madonna's brother, one of her brothers, her younger brother. He shares a birthday with me, actually, November 22nd. And a very, very important part of Madonna's career was created by Chris, as we know from two amazing tours that he was influential in. But we'll do a little chronology here and talk about the history they had together as far as working together. Madonna, of course, went to New York famously in the late 70s, and by the time she decided she wanted to pursue music and had some singles, some new hit singles, she called on her brother, who was also studying dance and a dance company, to join her in New York and dance with her and be a backup dancer. And so they started doing that with the track dates. And we probably didn't notice it until very famously the Lucky Star video. But we didn't know it was that was her brother. I certainly didn't know when I first saw the video. It took me a long time to find that out. And his dancing was just so amazing. And of course, the choreography was a lot of what made me love that video. So that was our first introduction to him, really, and his talents. But they worked together on a lot of those track dates. And of course, he details a lot of their adventures in his book. And then later, when she just hit it big, um, she requested him to join her for their first tour as a dresser. And it wasn't something he wanted to do, but what a joy, because, she trusted him with that part of her, working on the tour. And then, of course, had him come back for the second tour and do the same thing in 1987. But they were so very close, even in between times. Chris would hang out with Sean Penn when she married him, and so many adventures that they had during that time. Later into the 90s, we also know that in between, uh, famously, he had, when she divorced Sean Penn, he had designed the cover of the Like a Prayer 12-inch single with the P falling off for the last name. But after that, one of the biggest, most iconic collaborations with them would be the Blonde Ambition tour, and he was the art director for that. So it was a chance for him to branch out and showcase his artistic abilities, as well as he was working on her homes. And I loved the fact that we got to see her homes back then on Architectural Digest, which I have that magazine somewhere. And there was another one where she was featured. And just to see the work that he did, because I loved the way that he laid out everything, and the pieces that he chose, the way he showcased the artwork that she bought. And I think he often bought for her, as we learned in his book. But, it was clearly that not just work on my tours, or dance for me. She trusted him with the most intimate place in her life, which would be her home base, when she would, come back from a tour or from a project, and she wanted to be in a place that she felt represented who she was. She trusted him with that. And we could see that in their closeness, but also famously in Truth or Dare, we saw him once again, and the Toronto scene comes to mind, what he said there. And you could see that, they had a real close connection, even though it was much of it was probably orchestrated in the movie, but still we got to see quite a bit of Chris during that time, in when Truth or Dare came out. Later on in the 90s, of course, he would work with her as the tour director for the Girly Show, and you can imagine his creative collaborations. We could see a lot of that in the tour and how it was laid out. Those two tours, as we know, are considered her best when it comes to artistic uh, the artistic vision that they showed versus the Jamie King tours, and not to discredit Jamie's work, but it's a different vibe. You all know, and we can all agree that Blonde Ambition and Girly Show just they hit different. So obviously, recently there was MLBC podcast had the 30th anniversary, and they even had a shout out from Chris. He wasn't able to attend due to his health problems, but it's such an important tour that he was so influential on. And throughout those years, they were just very close. Once again, he was also working on her homes when she wanted to work on the Castillo del Lago. He was a part of that as well, working on the design and just basically giving her the art, the artistic, wherever she was on her home base or if she was performing that she was looking for. And 9 times out of 10, he hit it out of the park because of their close bond and how they understood one another. And I think that was something that we were, very lucky to be witness to and to see that captured through the work that they did together. Their close bond continued through the late 90s. This is a great photo in, I think, 99 when they were dancing together. Was this the Oscars? Anyone know this particular event? But they continued on, but of course, as he pointed out in his book, when the Guy Ritchie years started, he did not feel a close bond with her as much. And of course, she turned to Jamie King for her tours after that, moving in a different direction creatively. But I'm sure from time to time, they did meet up, obviously, family events and whatnot. Through those years, if it wasn't quite as a close bond as it was earlier. And then in 2008, of course, we got the book that detailed a lot of their experiences together. What was it? Life with My Sister Madonna? Was that what it was called? Um, and I read it maybe once, maybe I've watched some stuff on YouTube about it. But it's definitely fascinating because we got a lot of behind the scenes when they were doing the track dates, especially that early time, as well as later during the chaos of her superstardom, but even more so like their childhood together. They were always very close, and out of all the brothers and sisters, and I think that's why later in life, they had that same bond, which can, when you're with a sibling. Now, I don't know this personally. You may not know this about me, but I'm an only child, so I don't really have experience in this. But when you have a sibling, there is the pull and push, you have these amazing moments together and then you probably fight like cats and dogs. So they're no different, So I think the fact that in the book we see those ups and downs, it's still something siblings would probably go through. But these are two very famous siblings, so it was a very different scenario for us to kind of peep into and learn, be a fly on the wall for something like that he allowed us that opportunity to like see so many moments in her career that we chronicled by, getting all those articles and the media's take of things. And then now we're seeing it from a different angle, from his angle, from what it was like to be doing those things. And so it was great to experience that. And even though there was that, towards the end, it was definitely, she probably wasn't happy with some of the things in the tone that were presented, and there was probably a rift for many years after that. But I think later they kind of mended it. So she shared a post after his passing, where she talked about, in her estimation, what was the most important thing was they were always dancing, and I think that is true. That from the early track dates, working to be discovered, to be known, to the superstardom, and coming up with best ways to create dance and music up on the stage, to just dancing together as brother and sister throughout the years in their own personal moments. So I think that she really nailed it with how this was the main thing that she takes away when she thinks of him, and what, matters the most to her is they're always going to be dancing in her heart. And I imagine it's such a painful time for her. I know I've lost family members, and you never really recuperate from that. So I'm so happy that she was able to share that with us, and because we're all mourning him as well. On a personal note, I want to thank everyone. My last video finally got around to doing it because, for a while I just wasn't physically able to just sit here and put everything together for a video. But I wanted to share with you guys because it had been a while since you heard from me. And honestly, I just, it was something that was in my mind. I didn't want to let you guys not know what was going on or be aware. I physically could not do the work that I needed to do to put any kind of video together. And so, of course, I'm behind on a lot of things, but the comments that I received from my last video, sharing what had happened to me and all the details, was really just warmed my heart so much. And everyone that watched the video, commented, or brought any positive energy to me, it's really working. I've been so lucky to the hospitals to take care so well of me, and the center that I'm going to I'm having wonderful experiences there, and I feel a million times better than I did the last 2 months as I was deteriorating. So it's been a lifesaver for me, but also your energy is another lifesaver because the power of people, you never know how much that can affect you. But here's a picture of one of my parakeets who passed away today. She was very special to me, and we had her for almost 10 years. Her name was Gucci. Depends on how you want to pronounce it. Um, and I loved her very much, and I wanted to put her in this little tribute because she's very special to me. And but I also wanted to thank everyone. Um, I at first when I made these videos in this channel, I didn't really want to be personal. Just wanted to put the news out there because I that's kind of how I am. But then when I realized that I was struggling with my vision as my kidneys were failing, I think that affected it. I didn't really know how not to talk about it because it was affecting the videos that I was making. And then I saw how it really impacted all of us as a community to let a little bit of my personal story come through. And so I feel very uplifted by that, and that maybe I can share with you guys a little bit about me here and there beyond my Madonna experiences. And you can as well, in your comments, if you feel a connection about something I mentioned that you are going through, let's be here for each other. That's why initially we came together because of this music we love and this woman we love. But down the road, it's really about connecting with each other. It's a tough time in my country right now. We have a strong divide between people, and around the world that can be true as well. So if this is the thing that brought us together, let's make it even bigger and share with each other our personal moments that we feel alone in so we can not be alone and find community as we always have with each other. And I think Madonna has always done that for us with her music and her just being there for us. So I think that we have such an amazing community, and I'm so blessed. And I want to thank all of you. And thank you for watching this video and this tribute. And I'll see you in the next one. Dance and sing, get up and do your thing. Thank you for joining us here at Madonna Everybody Fan Club channel, and I hope you enjoyed our latest video. I hope that you will join us here by liking and subscribing. And also, we have social media with Facebook. We have Madonna Everybody Fan Club, over 5,000 Madonna fans to join. And we have an Instagram at Madonna EFC. So make sure you check those out, as well as a page on Facebook, Madonna Everybody Fan Club, to follow. So definitely check out those social media platforms and join us there. We have contests, we have Fan of the Month, and we have features and lots of great fans to meet. But more importantly, we'd love to hear from you. Make sure you comment on this video and let us know if there's anything you'd like us to talk about or any future video topics you'd like to see. And thank you again for joining our Madonna family. Music does make the people come together. Thanks, everyone.